Hi friends! There are literally 1.5 million different kinds of face masks that are available to go out and buy nowadays. So I want to break it down into the main kinds of face masks that you will find and how to figure out which one to buy and which one will be best suited for your skin type, and how to pick one that will actually tackle the skin concerns that you want to go after. The main free categories of face masks you're going to find are either wash-off face masks that can either come in little sticks that you smear on and you wash off with water, or they will sometimes come in just tubs or like squeezy pouches where you'll just take out what you need and then rinse it off. The next that you'll find are sheet masks. They will either come usually one in a package like this individually in the little pouch, or Asian sheet masks, especially Korean ones, tend to come like 25 to 30 in a pack, which saves on packaging a little bit. And lastly, you can buy loose powders and clays for mud masks that you'll just open up, and you'll take some of the basically dirt or clay and mix it with water or any other ingredients and make a face mask that will dry down, and then you'll rinse it off. Mud masks and clay masks tend to focus on removing excess oil. They're really good for oily skin or some types of acne-prone skin. Not so much hormonal acne, but if you're having acne like a lot of blackheads, mud masks can be very good for that because they will dry down and draw out that excess sebum. Sheet masks tend to focus on hydration. They can do a lot of other things. Like for instance, I have one that's actually like a mud mask mixed with a sheet mask. But generally, sheet masks will all focus on hydrating formulas, and that's because inside the mask it will is usually a fabric or a paper mask soaked in a serum. Sometimes it will be a hydrogel, which is just a really thick sheet of gel that lays on top of your skin, and that helps slow down the evaporation of the product, and it gives your skin more time to soak that in and to absorb more of the product instead of it just evaporating away like a wash-off mask. I don't personally really go after sheet masks that often, just because they do make a lot of trash, since almost all of them are individually packaged, and that's just a lot of garbage for a one-use mask. The bigger packs are a bit nicer, since instead of 25 little pouches, you only have one. The only other thing on sheet masks that I found to kind of do away with all that trash is there are silicone reusable sheet masks, which do sound kind of weird, but stick with me. It's made of a really flexible silicone, and it has a little ear strap, so you just put it on. And the reason for that is you can put on like a regular face mask. So you'll just smear it on really thick, and instead of it evaporating really quickly, you're gonna have that mask on your skin, and then after you've put that on, you'll put the silicone sheet mask on top, and that kind of holds everything in place and it stops it from evaporating as quickly. So you get all the benefits of a wash-off mask and a sheet mask, but you don't have all that trash. And then once you're done, you can just wash it off with soap and water, dry it, and then you can use it over and over and over again. I have one, but I wasn't able to track it down. I'll link where you can find it online, but they're really cool and they're very, very cheap. I got one a couple years ago for like $5, and I found another from a different company for 15. So considering how much it's gonna save you, it definitely is a good deal. And then wash-off masks can either be clay, mud, hydrating, brightening, anything under the sun you can think of that's done in skincare you can get in a wash-off mask. That is my favorite kind of mask to do. This one that I have right here is actually, it's a hydrating with rice bran. It's a Japanese brand, and everything on this packaging is in Japanese. I got it at a Asian market up in Portland. It's called the Mochi Skin Face Pack. I really love Japanese and Korean wash-off masks. They tend to always focus on anti-aging and hydrating. Unfortunately, it's really hard to find drugstore wash-off masks that aren't full of fragrance or like irritating physical exfoliants. A lot of the face masks we have for sale at big box stores at like Walmart or Target, they tend to either have fragrance or they will have irritating physical exfoliants. It's usually targeted towards like acne. That's where you'll see like crushed walnut shells or apricot shells, or even sometimes microbeads, but those are falling out of popularity due to the environment impact that those have. And then for mud masks, I would say they're best for just oily skin. If you have dry skin or mature skin, there really is no reason for you to be using mud masks, because they do have a place for drawing out excess oil, but other than that, they're going to cause more harm than benefit for you. And then the last kind of masks that you'll find for sale are peel-off masks. Peel-off masks are usually marketed to exfoliate, and they do that by stripping off dead skin cells, sebum, and sometimes hair, which sounds good but can be painful. Face masks have really gotten buzzy because some of them, when you peel them off, you can see all the gunk and dirt that's left behind after you peel that off, especially like the charcoal masks and the nose strips. And they've gone really popular because of that. But actually, in reality, most of what you're seeing that's torn away under those masks, it's actually something called sebaceous filaments. Everyone has them, and they're tiny little hair-like structures in your pores, and they help your skin distribute sebum. And sebum and oil, you need to have it in your skin. It's what keeps it from flaking away and for staying plump and hydrated looking. So to an extent, you do always have those pores full of sebum. The only time when that actually becomes an issue is when those pores have too much sebum and it oxidizes, and when it oxidizes it gets black, and that causes blackheads. But these peel-off masks, they're just ripping out the sebaceous filaments, and you see all this gunk on the back of the mask and you go, oh my gosh, it worked amazing, I have to keep doing this. But actually, if you repeatedly remove those filaments, it can enlarge that pore, and it can sometimes be permanent damage, and then you will have that enlarged pore for the rest of your life. It's very hard to fix with like over-the-counter at home remedies. A dermatologist might be able to help, but for that reason, I really don't recommend peel-off masks. They're a fun, like once in a blue moon, like a sleepover trick. And it can't be satisfying to try to peel it off all in one bit, because who doesn't like seeing those videos? But for your daily skincare routine, there's really no reason to use peel-off skin face masks. If you're just going after exfoliation, there are tons of different products that can give you that without the irritation and without pulling out your hair or having to worry about getting it on your eyebrows or the rim of your hair. Chemical exfoliants are my favorite kind of skincare product just to exfoliate, like AHAs or BHAs, and there's tons of them out there, and you can incorporate them into your routine even if you are using a physical exfoliant like a facial brush or maybe a scrub. You just don't want to use them at the same time. But those are all of the face masks that you'll find around the market for sale. Pretty much the only takeaway from this that I would say is, if you have oily skin, go for mud masks. If you don't, stay away from them. Peel off masks, you're better off skipping them. Any skincare type can benefit from sheet masks because they hydrate, and everyone can do with a bit of hydration. And then wash off masks, it really just depends on the formula. I will link a couple wash off masks and different products down in the description, and I'll also put a link to an article that I wrote about all of this with some acne friendly and just sensitive skin friendly products in general. On my channel, I like to only recommend primarily fragrance free and non-irritating products. Even if you haven't had issues with fragrance in the past, it can lead down the road to bad reactions if you keep using different products with fragrance over and over and over again. So it's best just to be better safe than sorry and skip over them, especially if you're trying to treat yourself and spend a little bit of extra money on something to pamper yourself. Why would you buy something with fragrance that's going to potentially irritate you? Why not go all the way and get something that's going to do your skin the best it can? But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.